What is up, ladies and gents? It's Master Hogan, helping you master yourself. Today we are going to explore how to foam roll and release your iliopsoas and your QL muscles that we've previously explored and pinpointed as possible triggers of your low back pain. So this is kind of like the next step. Stretching would be step one. Releasing and soft tissue work would be step two of this. So, alike within our framework of removing the trigger and conditioning the solution, we are conditioning here with this soft tissue work the solution of having muscles that are relaxed, naturally relaxed, and in a ready state, I might even say. So, I'll say this, you want your muscles to be able to contract when you want them to. You want them to also be able to relax when you want them to. And they should work synergistically, and those two things should happen naturally together in opposing muscles. When a single muscle is too tight chronically, that cannot happen. So this is conditioning the solution of allowing that to happen by releasing, say, and reverting a muscle to a more naturally relaxed state. Okay? One thing that we have to consider with foam rolling and soft tissue work is this: it takes time. It's not comfortable either. If it's not comfortable, you're probably not doing it right. So, with that, you have to be sure to allow enough time, and there's no one right time. But for example, foam rolling on your legs, say, back and forth quickly, that is not the way. That is not the way, and here's why. With any soft tissue work, there has to be enough time for your nervous system to tell your brain that this thing is okay. Usually when you jump on one of these soft tissue apparatuses, your muscles will initially be agitated, frustrated maybe even at you, especially if you're dealing with some weird pain in that muscle or surrounding areas. And it takes time for that agitated muscle to become released. So there's no way that you're going to be able to go around the timepiece. So you kind of have to lean into the discomfort a little bit and work with it. That is just the way. So these nervous system things kind of just take time. That's the whole reason that recovery is a thing, and that just training by itself is not adequate. You have to train, you have to recover. Two parts of the whole picture. Okay? So let's see how we perform a soft tissue release with the foam roller for your iliopsoas. Alright, so how do we foam roll? First, for the iliopsoas, we have to remember that it attaches up on the lumbar vertebra. So let's locate where that is relative for a foam roller. So you're going to find the outside of the bony part of your hip and then use your midline, and directly in the middle between those two things is about where it will sit. So if we place our body there on the foam roller, you can see I'm going to start from the top down, and I'm going to go low and slow. Low and slow. And by no means, as I show you this, is this the speed that you should be going. It's definitely far too fast. You should chill out and let your nervous system do its thing. You should feel a release. That's how you'll know that you're on there long enough and doing it right. Okay? Along with that, another pro tip for foam rolling things like this is, instead of, if this is your foam roller, rocking up and down like this, you want to do your best to keep your body level as you're rolling slowly, so that at any given time, as gravity's exerting its pressure on your leg or wherever you're rolling, there's no shear force. Okay? So as you roll like this, at any given time there's going to be some shear forces and it's not going to be direct pressure down. So you want to keep your body as perpendicular on the foam roller as possible to get the maximum benefit. So along with this, and I'll show you on the other side now, along with keeping your body flat, we have to remember the action of the iliopsoas. It's a hip flexor. So to have it most lengthened, we want it extended. So to do that, extend your leg. You could even hold there. Able to do a little bit more by flexion of the knee on this side to extend your hip. So that's a strategy to extend more. Okay, and that is the roll out. Once you move from top to bottom, make sure you go the other way too. Okay, and take pretty much just as much time. All right, y'all. Last thing for the QL, we are going to do a soft tissue release with a tennis ball. You can use a lacrosse ball. Really just needs to be anything that is hard enough and small enough. Okay. The reason that we're not foam rolling with this is because you cannot adequately target the QL. QL is really small, so it needs to have something like this. Okay? And we're going to perform the same function as the foam roller, but instead of rolling on the foam roller, we're going to move our body. I'll explain that a little bit more as I show you here. So first, remember where exactly our QL is. It is immediately lateral to our spine. So we're going to find the posterior part of our hips. To do that, we're going to lean forward and then feel for the bumpy part, and then it will be just a little bit above and to the side of the spine there. Okay, and that is where we will place our object, our targeted object. Okay, so I'm gonna lean, feel, and go up, so it's like right about there. So I'm going to lay on there. The whole point of this is the pressure, the soft tissue release. Okay, so time is again key for this. Okay, so the compression is what we want. Support yourself with an arm here and your other leg. This might do it for you. If it doesn't, here's what I would recommend. Take the leg of the side of your QL that this is on, and remember, our actions of the QL are ipsilateral contraction of one side of the body, but they also can be put, that position can be acquired through movement of the leg, at least to a little bit of an extent. So as we have this sort of pressure on the muscle, we're going to try to like weave it over the compressed points so that we're in a way targeting the whole middle tissue. Okay, so if the stretching targets the ends, this will target the whole thing, so we're kind of getting at least a little bit of improvement of the quality of the whole tissue and fiber of the muscle. So how do you do it? You're going to start by internally rotating and bringing your leg up, hip hiking. If you recall, hip hiking is one thing that will shorten the QL. Okay, and then we're going to do the exact opposite of that from here, so as to floss it back the other way. We're going to lengthen as much as you can and then internally rotate, and you're trying to do this all while keeping that compression on, and you'll feel it. Okay, from there, feel free to roll around a little bit and do that on different points that you've rolled around. Okay, because again, this is targeted, whereas foam roller is just too big for this to happen because of how small the QL is. So do that. Try to target any areas that you feel are tight as you're doing this. That would be the most beneficial for you for what this is for. Okay, I'm Master Hogan, helping you master yourself. Take care. Talk to you in the next one.